When you visit a local market in Vietnam, you will be shocked. Honestly, trust me. And I'm gonna tell you all about it. So yeah, welcome to Vietnam. We are visiting Vietnam for 3 weeks and we stumbled upon a few local markets. And I'm not talking about those tourist night markets where you have all those tourist products. No, I'm talking about the markets where they sell the daily fresh produce for the local people. Because local people that live here, they don't go to supermarkets, they go to these local markets in every city or every area in town. And I just love visiting these markets. It feels like walking into the authentic Vietnamese local life. And I just love looking around, taking pictures, exploring the culture as it is. And if you do that, if you visit these real local markets, then you may be shocked. I've been shocked multiple times. And the first time was in a market in the Mekong Delta. This actually was a really, really high quality local market, I could tell, because everything was really fresh, really well taken care of. But what shocked me the most was seeing those fish laying in those bowls, gasping for air. That was a bit hard to swallow for me, I have to say. Everything looked really fresh and the quality looked good and the way it was treated, but it was just a shock because I'm not used to seeing it that way. And also there were frogs bundled up together so they couldn't move and they were still alive. And that was also very hard to see, I think. And of course, when I realized that, I realized that this was the way in our country as well back in the day. But for now, because I don't see that in our area or in the places I visited in Europe, for instance, it is very new to me and very, yeah, like a culture shock. And I'm not saying it's bad or no, it's just my experience that I was really shocked and it really hit me. Also that when the fish, they cut off the fins and everything, they do that when the fish is still alive because they want to deliver the freshest product to their customer. And I totally understand that, but it just feels harsh. And I know it is already harsh because we eat the meat, we eat the product, we eat the animals. I eat meat and fish as well. So it's a little bit hypocritical to think that animals are not hurt with the meat and fish that I eat, but just seeing it done is just not new. It's just new to me, and that's what shocked me. The same thing in the same market was that there were geese and chickens being killed, so they would also be super fresh when they were sold. They were plucked right in the spot. It was intense, and also Tim, being a vegetarian, found it really, really intense. So yeah, that was our first culture shock local market. But yeah, I think when you visit a country like this, I think it's important to also see the daily life, right? At this market where I'm at now, this is in Nha Trang, the beach town of Nha Trang. But of course, there's also a local market. This is not the night market that you'll find at the beach, but this is the local market. I will put links to the markets that we've been to in the description box, so you can read them there. You can find the best spots, or just go to our blog, www.STUFR.nl, where you can read all our adventures as well and our tips for restaurants and everything. But of course, subscribe to this channel as well, because we'll have a food video for Vietnam. We'll have our travel adventures. You'll be able to find it all, but this is about the markets. So this is the market in Nha Trang. And when you get here a little bit later in the day, you get to see the stalls that have had the fresh fish and fresh meat in the morning. And those are emptied out, but then the floor will be covered in bits of meat, bits of fish. Some parts have been like brushed off with water, but there's still a lot of produce laying there on the floor. And yeah, what does that attract? It attracts a lot of rats. Really, honestly, a lot of rats. Not just one, not just two. It was rats everywhere. At one point, one rat, it ran into my shoe. I screamed a little bit because I was just not paying attention, and it was like, ah! And then because of my scream, a pile of dirt or meat that had some rats in it, all those rats, they jumped up out of that pile and ran in front of me as well. So it was just an unexpected moment. That's why it scared me a little bit. But yeah, so that was definitely another shock to see that. And it was also fun because people were still selling their products and the rats were running around and nobody seemed to care. And yeah, cultural differences, right? And that is what I love about traveling. Even though it might be shocking, it still is an experience that you'll take home and that you'll think, yeah, why is this such a shock to me? I know that all of this goes on with the meat that I get on my plate as well, and that this was going on in my country back in the day as well. It is just the way it is here. And I also heard our tour guide that told us that everything that is sold here on the markets is super fresh, because if they don't sell it that day, they can't sell it anymore. So they need to sell it. And that is why it starts early in the morning. And for locals here, the quality is super good. Of course, because we have different bacteria in our system and everything, you should be very aware of what you buy on these markets for yourself, because it might give you some stomach cramps or diarrhea or, you know, or food poisoning. So be careful with that. But for them, for the people here, oh, it's perfect. Oh yeah, one more thing before I close off this video, what I also found really interesting, because you've seen it in other videos of us, the motorbikes are everywhere here. It is their means of transportation. It's cheap, it's open, it's fast, it's super handy. But what I was noticing is that there's also a lot of motorbikes, well, you saw one passing early in this video, on the markets, like in these little alleyways in the markets. They'll just go with their motorbike. Doesn't matter where in the Netherlands where we would go by bike and then park our bike somewhere and then go into the market. Here, oh well, there's more coming actually as I'm speaking here. It's okay. Oh, then, but here they just go by bike everywhere, even into the market. It's fine. It's life, right? Well, I hope you found this video interesting, seeing some shots of the local markets here. I loved visiting these markets and opening my views to this cultural phenomena, this daily life. I just loved it. And now I'm gonna find a nice place to have a nice juice, because the juices here are amazing. Definitely, you have to check out our food video on Vietnam, because there's so much amazing food. We have some really, really awesome tips there. For now, I'm signing off. I'll just explore the market a little bit more, I think. And see you soon, more videos soon. Bye-bye.